I've created a spreadsheet in the past going over freestyle Geneijin information, and this also covers the decisions that come after a Zenpo tension and what you can actually follow up with. So as an example, we have here, if you Zenpo your opponent early and then you get a medium kick up kicks, how many forward medium kicks can you do against specific characters? So against Shotos you can do 3, against Dudley you can do 3, but against, Twins and Oro you can only do 2. So this stuff varies a lot, and there's a lot of character-specific information that you will have to understand when learning stuff for Zenpo. There's no way around it. So if you're doing things like up kicks into a side swap shoulder, this is all the characters that it works on, and then all the different choices that you have after different things. And this will be linked in the description below. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the medium punch shoulder. And I'm going to list all the characters that this works on, where it will recorner them. So against Urien, if you don't immediately do up kicks and then delay slightly, he won't recorner. What'll end up happening is he'll go towards the middle of the screen. And if you have any sort of delay whatsoever in when you do your up kicks after the Zenpo, you have to micro step forward in order to get the recorner. So you can save it if that's what you want to do. And similarly, as long as you up kicks immediately, you can micro step forward to get the timing for the cross up, or cross under, I should say, to recorner as well. So when you get the situations where he goes towards the middle of the screen, you have to be able to follow up and know to either walk forward and do a forward medium kick, or follow up with like a dash punch like you just saw. So here are some examples against Remy. Right, you can do the medium punch shoulder if you are, about 4 or 5 seconds in. However, 7 seconds or later, that shoulder is going to whiff no matter what, even if you delay your up kicks. So in situations where you get that medium punch shoulder, there's a couple choices that you have. You have the ability to, against some characters, micro step forward into a palm and then continue with, forward medium kick or a dash punch depending on situation and spacing. You have the ability to go for a light punch shoulder. You have the ability to go for a close standing medium kick. There's a lot of different things that you can do. However, going for, shoulder into up kicks is a possible decision. It's not usually the best decision. But if this is something that you like doing, or maybe you're looking for a specific setup when you get more advanced, it can be something you can go for. There are times where doing like shoulder into immediate up kicks is going to net you the best damage as you get more advanced, doing things against like Urien or Hugo or something. But outside of that, just knowing that it exists and maybe getting comfortable playing with it a little bit is something that you can do. But for the most part, you should be sticking to the easier things like the light punch shoulder continuation, or the forward fierce continuation, or the close standing medium kick. And then obviously the forward medium kick, because that is the most common. So if you are going for late Zempos, The most common thing that you're going to do against most of the cast is this, where you'll get that Zenpo, the Recorner shoulder into crouch medium punch upkicks. However, there are going to be players that are not comfortable with this. So alternatively, you can do something like this to cause a reset situation, with just close standing medium kick into super jump forward heavy roundhouse. Or you can just do that close standing medium kick to get that knockdown, and then you can walk forward. But ideally, you're going to want to be able to put yourself in the situation to get this and get comfortable with it. But other options do exist. You can get a knockdown. You can, force another okizeme situation, but it may not be, the best. If that's the case, where you are not comfortable with that shoulder into crouching medium punch upkicks, you can just do light punch shoulder instead of medium, and then follow up with a dash punch to go towards mid-screen. It's a little bit less optimal because you are losing the corner. However, if that is what you are most comfortable with, then it's, something that you should do while you work on the more optimal choice. Some characters, although not many, require you to go towards the middle of the screen. And this means that doing Zenpo into medium kick upkicks into another decision is going to net you, the most optimal decision that you can make outside of advanced ways of recornering them. So recornering characters like Oro and Ibuki is very difficult. And against some characters like Elena, upkicks after a Zenpo isn't even possible. Against characters like Ibuki, if you try to do the same timing on the shoulder, it's not going to work because of how her body weight works. So you have to delay your shoulder, and it will go towards the middle of the screen. Pretty simple. So your decisions against the characters that require this, namely Ibuki and Oro, you have to make different decisions. Now, against Urien, as you can see here, is relatively inconsistent to recorner. So ways that you can make it more consistent is if you do an early Zenpo, you can do forward medium kick and hold forward medium kick, like hold forward and then hit medium kick and then do shoulder. And the reason for this is because if you hold forward medium kick, it positions him so that that immediate medium punch shoulder will allow you to recorner. However, if you try to do it as the ender after 5 seconds or so, it doesn't work. So you have to be cognizant of the timing and when things do and do not work. So the first way that you would continue towards mid-screen is with forward medium kicks. Now as you can see here, if you do too many against Oro or Ibuki, it's not going to hit. You only get 2 forward medium kicks that you can do. So that means that if you do an immediate Zenpo, you would get 2 forward medium kicks into a shoulder, into a dash punch, into, whatever. It's very freestyle based. However, you may only get 2 forward medium kicks into a shoulder, into a dash punch or something, depending on how much meter that's already been used. The next decision that you can make is by doing another upkicks. So you can go upkicks, forward medium kick times 2, and then you can continue to go towards the corner. The next decision that you can make is just light punch, dash punch. And depending on the situation, you may or may not get a good combo off of this. The next way that you can continue to go mid-screen is by doing a light punch shoulder. And there's all sorts of ways that you can continue to go towards the opposing corner depending on how much meter that you have left. Now, this medium kick upkicks going towards the mid-screen basically work against everyone in the cast. So as you can see, it works on Chun-Li. The only character that it does not work on is Elena. So the next thing to learn is that against Makoto, Chun, and Q, you can do close standing medium kick and then dash under. Or you can do walk forward, forward fierce. Those are the two choices that you have to recorner. Otherwise, you're just going to have to use the medium kick up kicks to go towards the middle of the screen. Makoto is the only exception to this, where medium kick up kicks into medium punch shoulder will work against her. So the main things that you can do are medium kick dash medium kick for something like this. You can also do medium kick dash palm, and those are the two main ways that you would follow this up. Realistically, if you want to do the walk forward, forward fierce, you can do something like this. But when doing stuff like this, you have to know the limitation. So this only works up until 7 seconds in. After that, you have to use a different combo. Where, as an example against Chun-Li, you would do light kick up kicks into medium punch shoulder, walk, crouching medium punch up kicks. Because, as you can see, that close standing medium kick doesn't allow you to dash. So you have to modify based on time. So like I said, against Makoto, the medium punch shoulder works after medium kick up kicks. Against her, you can also do the light kick up kicks into medium punch shoulder as well. It's really up to you what positioning you want, but obviously getting your opponent in the corner is usually the ideal situation. So in situations where you have very little meter left and you're not able to get that close standing medium kick into a dash, the medium kick up kicks into medium punch shoulder is the best choice against Makoto. So against Chun-Li, it's, the light kick one, which also does work on Makoto as well. But yeah, against Q, you have to do the light kick up kicks, and against Makoto, you can use medium kick into medium punch shoulder. Against Elena, up kicks don't work at all. So you have to go immediately for shoulders, or you can go into, stand heavy punch into shoulder without getting too advanced into things. So your main combos are going to look something like this. Very simple. But there are going to be situations like this where something like this will be optimal. But for the most part, you're only going to be using this shoulder against Elena. However, this does work against everyone in the game. So mid-screen is a little bit different, because you can continue to go towards the corner that is closest to you by just continuing to do forward medium kick, forward medium kick, forward medium kick. Now this is only at true mid-screen, because if you follow up with a medium punch shoulder, in certain situations, you will be able to get them back to the corner, but it may vary depending on your distance. So if I Zenpo my opponent here and I try to get them back to the corner, it may or may not work, right? So if my opponent is like very close to the opposing corner, even though I'm still mid-screen, I'm not going to want to continue to go towards the way that the Zenpo is forcing me to go, right? I'm not going to want to continue to go this way unless I'm sure that I will be able to recorner. In most cases, you will be, but it's not going to always be the optimal decision. But as a beginner, you can choose to decide which way that you want to go based on, how you're feeling and get used to the different distances and what you can get after each thing. Because there are situations where, I can get up kicks into forward fierce and then follow up that way. In mid-screen, this is a more viable option than it is in the corner, because you can actually chase down with something like Kara heavy punch, dash punch, or whatever. But in a lot of cases, you're still going to want to be going back towards the other corner by doing the medium punch shoulder into whatever to get them back towards the corner, if their character is able to have that done to them. But in situations where, you are very low on meter, you're going to end up in situations where you have to make that decision. Do I want to just go for, just like a light punch shoulder into a dash punch to get them towards that corner? Or do I want to wait for a specific moment into hoping that I can get that correct timing for, Zenpo into the, cross up medium punch shoulder into crouching medium punch light kick up kicks? And obviously it only works on the characters that are listed earlier, but the idea here is that you're making decisions to get towards the closest corner possible. So technically I'm mid-screen here, because if I Zenpo, my opponent is not leaving towards going towards mid-screen, right? If my back is to the wall, all I have to do is continue with forward medium kick, right? So the closer that your back is to the wall, you just want to do that up kicks into forward medium kick continue. So in situations where, you have very low meter, but you've already done your up kicks, you don't always have to go for that forward medium kick. You may be able to go for that shoulder so that you can continue a combo as instead, because that forward medium kick might limit your choices afterward, depending on how much meter that you have left. And that's the hardest part about mid-screen and back to the corner Zenpo stuff, is understanding what you can do and what you should do. There are those characters where it may make sense to just go for something simple like a shoulder into whatever, just to get as much screen coverage as possible as a beginner. And it may be to where doing the shoulder towards the opposing corner, may be the option that is best. It's going to be a lot of trial and error. And figuring out how far away you are from what corner and how to optimize, the decisions afterward is going to take time. And there's no shortcuts as a beginner to learning that stuff, unfortunately. So you just have to understand and practice, going for very specific things and understanding, how things interact with one another and how you can sort of freestyle your choices mid-screen. Because unlike corner combos, there's no guaranteed best decision unless you go through and literally map out all of your different options off of every different type of Zenpo, depending on timing and spacing and all that stuff. And while, yes, it is possible, it's unrealistic to be able to call forth all of that information, on a dime. Alternatively, there is another spreadsheet that I have called Advanced Zenpo Corner Combos. If you are more comfortable learning combos through a text version, all of the stuff for corner combos is listed, as far as, what realistic starter combos should be, and all that stuff. Optimized combos based on difficulty, how much meter percent it gives you, actual meter and damage. Not everything is going to be useful for a beginner, so I do suggest going through and learning the basics on how to get your opponent to that corner from mid-screen, or how to use that recorner to even just get a basic ender. However, the next step is using this, and that will be covered in the next video.